Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here up in my room for two reasons. A surprise, which I'll show you at the end of the video here. And the second one, just to share some thoughts from the Dhamapada, the Buddhist scriptures today, about being awake. It's a very simple one. Of course, it's one thing I really like. I have a copy of the Dhamapada that's just this little tiny book. All the wisdom of the ages right here in this one little palm of your hand. It doesn't take much to know, to find the way. It's a matter of doing and being. So that's an important thing to remember, that the truth of these things is in manifesting them, not in just reading and studying them, accumulating what I like to call thought castles in the mind, which are great for ego, but that's counter to our investigation, counter to our purpose. Our purpose is emptying and surrendering that love, that compassion, that nature of ours can manifest without being restricted and constricted by mind. Anyway, the Dhamapada says, he is awake and finds joy in the stillness of meditation and in the sweetness of surrender. And really that's the task at hand. It's not a matter of doing something. It's not a matter of becoming something or attaining something. It's a matter of surrendering, letting go of your desire, letting go of your agitation, letting go of all of your protective layers, your sense of dignity, your sense of right, your sense of entitlement, your sense of knowledge, your sense of whatever, to let go of these things and to find your joy in the stillness of that contemplation, in the stillness of just being one with the sense of being, with that existence, with that joy that is inherent in this experience of being. Before the experience happens. It's a matter of letting that come, letting that manifest as it is. It says, hard it is to be born, and hard it is to live, indeed. Harder still to hear of the way, and hard to rise, follow, and awake. Just an acknowledgement. This is a tough thing to do. The easiest way to do it is to start. To start and then wear grace. Grace for yourself, grace from the beloved, grace toward your efforts to really make lots of room for improvement, to be kind to yourself, to be encouraging to yourself and to others along the way. And find like-minded people, people who will help you take your mind higher, people who will help you transcend your desires, people who will help you think about these ideals and to move in that direction. People who will help you stay true to your decisions and your efforts in that regard. He says, and yet the teaching is simple. So sure, it's hard to be born, it's hard to live, it's hard to hear of these things, and it's hard to work on them and attain them, to awaken the self. He says, and yet the teaching is simple. Do what is right. And oddly enough, we really don't need a teaching on exactly what is right. They're there. There's plenty of teachings, all the religions, full of teachings on what is right. But if you sit in the stillness of meditation and ponder what you know, according to your nature, you know what is right. So it says, do what is right. Be pure. Yes, be pure. What does that mean? It's not a matter of it's a matter of not having me in mind. That's the simplicity of it. There's lots of ways of talking about purity. Some of them are rather Victorian and rather out of mode. But to talk in terms of ridding the mind of me and mine, that selfishness, that self-consumption, that I am the center of my world, just ridding yourself of that ideal is what purity is, what that practice is. And ridding yourself of me and mine is the same as ridding yourself of ego, because ego is the confusion. Ego is that universal self that has gotten a little bit too attached to a body and to a mind, to a singular perspective, to a particular, to a set of limitations and restrictions. He says, so do what is right, be pure. At the end of the way is freedom. You want freedom, this is the way to attain freedom. We have a very deep misunderstanding of freedom in the sense that if you are absolutely free, like I remember the other morning I was taking a shower, frankly, and I was giving myself that chant of the day, that I am free, I'm ever pure, I'm ever blissful. I have no story to adhere to. I am the I am. And the funny thing that the first thing that arose in my mind when I said I'm absolutely free of any story of the day, this moment can be anything, the first thing that happens is I feel myself query the mind. What do you want to do? Because we have this idea that freedom is being able to do what you want to do. But that's not freedom. That's being enslaved to the mind, to the mood, to the hungers and whims of the body. That's enslavement. To be free is to have no desire. To be free is to be perfectly content, so that you don't have to enslave yourself for wages, enslave yourself for materials, enslave yourself for getting what you perceive you need from relationships and society and whatnot. So he says the end of this way is freedom, that the end of purity, the end of finding joy in the stillness of contemplation, the end of doing what is right, is being free indeed. Not having to ask what anyone, whether it's the body or the mind or anything else, what the wants are, what the desires are, but being free even of the nagging desire, the nagging longing for something outside yourself. He says, till then, patience. Till then, patience. Indeed, and patience, well practiced, leads to all of those other three things. So that is our teaching today from the Dhamapada, our meditation. Now my other surprise, this morning one of my brother monks, Swami A, or Swami A is what we call him for short, made me something beautiful. Look at this. See if I can get the camera to do this without falling over. Look at that thing right there. That is my new meditation stool. It's incredible. It's beautiful. It's so heavy. It's made of really fine wood. And look at that inlaid top there that he put together, and this nifty little lock of a front here. You know, a beautiful design that we saw on Etsy. It's kind of modified. This one doesn't fold. The one on Etsy folded. But he made this for me. Just, you know, that quarantine, he had lots of time, asked if I had a project or is there anything that we needed, and I just kind of sheepishly said, well, you know, it's hard to sit on the floor to meditate for more than a few minutes. I said, what about a bench or a stool? And he was like, say no more. And so this morning I go down, and sitting on the dining room table in the monastery was this beautiful new meditation stool. So I'm very thankful for that, and you know, just wanted to share it with somebody, with anybody out there. So anyway, it's a great joy to me to have this idea to be sitting and chatting and to share these things. And I really truly wish all of you the best in your practice and in your quest for fulfillment, for finding a life that works for you, that is rich for you, that is loving for those around you. So may it be well.